makes his professional debut from Long Beach, California.
Huge left. Barnes in big trouble, and it's over.
The time has come for the main event of the evening.
Red glove.
Darrion Caldwell submitted by AJ McKee.
One win away from making it a reality. He's the undefeated AJ McKee.
He makes his professional debut from Long Beach, California. Introducing AJ Mercenary McKee.
Round number one. Fast start for AJ McKee. Tonight's Fight Clock is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time.
Son of Antonio McKee, longtime fighter, outstanding wrestler. For the son, a lot of confidence in his striking.
Marcos Bonilla in the blue gloves, red gloves for AJ McKee. Bellator debut for both, third pro MMA bout for Bonilla, pro MMA debut for McKee. Welcome to the deep end of the pool, kid. MMA veteran Antonio McKee, who you almost fought.
That's true. That's true. I did one time.
And now here's his son.
And now here's his son. Thanks for making me feel old, Sean.
And I'm older than you.
Thank you.
And Antonio McKee's grandkids fight that we're checking out.
Yeah, totally.
Takedown.
Going for the Darce choke.
Going hard for the Darce. See the hand on the bicep, and he lost it down the transition.
Man, smooth transition to the back, but only one hook in so far.
Marcos Bonilla said, my biggest asset as a fighter is my intelligence. I can assess situations, but no time to assess. Caught this deep rear naked choke. There's the tap, and the victory for AJ McKee in his pro mixed martial arts debut.
A great start for AJ McKee.
James Barnes won all 4 of his fights in the first round. It's still a sport, Jimmy, in which so many start 25, 26, 27 years old.
Yeah, very true. AJ working hard for the guillotine here.
Very early.
He might have it.
Barnes trying to walk the cage and pays the price. But he does get out of the guillotine.
Reckless throw by AJ McKee. Let him go.
See already some blood coming out of the mouth of James Barnes. Has 4 fights under his belt, and they've lasted a total of 6 minutes and 20 seconds. This one isn't going to go that far. Huge left. Barnes in big trouble, and it's over.
Beautiful left hand over the top, right on the jaw. And that was all she wrote. AJ McKee. Keep an eye on this kid at 145.
With the second generation, with the AJ McKees, and all of the young guns in Bellator. The previous generation of fighters, Jimmy, they were just turning pro at 26, 27, 28. Now you have a whole new wave of young stars who are starting young because this is what they always wanted to do.
AJ McKee grew up in the gym. That's what this generation does.
First round, you ready? You ready?
Fight Clock brought to you by Miller Lite, the original Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And immediately, Donaldson staggered, and he needs to get in deep, and he ate a kick for it.
And what you see right now is confidence. AJ just walking through the punches of Donaldson.
Coming off a highlight reel knockout in his last fight. Two professional fights that lasted less than 4 minutes.
Nasty cut over the eye. That could add some urgency to a guy who's already fighting hard.
And that's in a bad spot.
Great throw.
McKee was raised for this would be an understatement. Ronda Rousey wasn't the only one with a parent that wake him up with an armbar.
Yeah. Antonio McKee, outstanding fighter.
Watch it!
Now this is the position he likes. He loves Darce chokes. He loves anacondas. Going for the Darce. This is what I meant about that reach advantage being so important on the ground. Oh, that's a nasty cut.
That is brutal, and it's in a bad spot.
It's definitely going to bleed in the eye. The good news is it's not on the lid. And over the power guillotine. Switching to the regular. Now he's cranking. Man, to the head chancery, to the takedown. Wasn't his speed, his awareness to see his opponent's attacks coming and counter, and his range.
There's no real, how do you prepare for the first time you take damage like that?
Oh, nice knee. That could be over.
That's it. AJ McKee fought with a different chip on his shoulder. He fought with more desperation this time.
The knee right through the center on the jaw. And that's it for Donaldson. Referee gave him a couple more to get back in the fight. Maybe he's got a little more fight left in him. He had none.
You can tell the way he crumpled.
Yeah.
Hasn't taken AJ McKee long to get to Miller time in his first 3 fights. Took some damage in his last fight. That was the learning experience.
Yeah, severely cut. And I like the way he dealt with that. He turned it on and got a finish before the cut became a factor. If AJ would have had trouble with is a guy who's an inch taller than him. He's not used to seeing that at featherweight. He's usually the taller guy. Belluardo, as far as physically, has the length, he has the size, he has the height, but AJ so far dealing with it with his speed. Great way to negate the height. You see Belluardo, I think so far, having trouble with the speed of AJ McKee, hasn't gotten his own offense going.
We've said this so many times, 2 undefeated fighters. The danger when you don't know what you don't know. You see something or don't see something coming at you you've never seen before, like this. Yeah, Belluardo in trouble. That left got through. AJ McKee pouring it on, and it's done. 4-0, 4 first-round finishes, 4 backflips, and AJ McKee keeps on rolling.
When Scott Coker signed AJ Mercenary McKee to the division, he signed me up to do 2 things. 1, kick ass. 2, entertain the people. So if you don't know me, get to know me. This is just the beginning. Thanks for coming out, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight.
We are underway with AJ McKee looking to go 5-0 and add another first-round finish.
Nobody's starting out slowly. They are slinging right from the beginning.
Fight clock brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. It's Miller time. It almost was Miller time on that left from AJ McKee.
He said, usually I fight from the outside. He said, not this time. I got to come in. Saw him leaning in on those power punches.
Seen Cody Walker in Bellator before. Pick his spot through the up kicks of AJ McKee. Just recently relocated from Dallas. He gets planted by AJ McKee. Ended up becoming his coach and his mentor.
Here's where AJ McKee's going to have the advantage on the inside, putting pressure on. It's when those long limbs become a liability for Cody Walker.
3 minutes and 19 seconds has been the longest of the 4 fights for AJ McKee. Cody Walker moved to California and he looked at Bellator's division. He said, boy, wouldn't it be great to fight AJ McKee one day? And then that one day turned out to be 2 weeks away.
Giving up his back, both hooks in. Big mistake by Cody Walker.
Is he long enough to
arm triangle from it? Might have trouble finishing with the cage in the way. Let's see what he can do.
AJ McKee is trying to inch away from that cage to give himself some more space.
And the elbow's pretty high too. You want to keep the elbow low in an arm triangle and he gives it up. Smart move. Very smart move.
Here in Bellator, AJ McKee now in round 2 for the first time. So a pretty dominant performance in round 1. How did you score?
Now, I scored it 10-9. Could be a 10-8. We're going to go over it later. With the rule changes, starting next year, that's a clear 10-8 round.
It's the second time Cody Walker hasn't been taken down. He's been planted.
Well, guillotine, this might be it. I think this is all she wrote.
And there it is. Remember AJ McKee in his first fight, he was in Darce position and let it go. Here, he does not let go. And the only thing he could not execute properly was the backflip on his way to 5-0. One was in a regional championship fight in Maine, and that was in round 5. But he lost that fight. The other was the short notice fight and the submission loss to one of the other rising stars in Bellator, Adam Picolatius. Ray Wood is drilled to the ground.
Now, AJ said, I might have to go to my takedown in this fight. Don't use it that often, but he's tricky. I might have to take him down. That's exactly what he did early. That means he didn't like what he saw on the feet.
Ray Wood started reaching guillotine, so AJ McKee countered to take some of that pressure off.
Yeah, I mean, you see he's keeping him from activating his hips. Yes. That's what makes the guillotine work. If I can control the guard, I don't have to worry about the guillotine. An eagle shot, knee to the chest. Another knee to the chest. Both like baiting their opponents in so they can counter.
That caught him.
That hurt him, going hard for the guillotine.
Ray Wood senses it, and now AJ McKee, survival instincts, trying to clear his head here as he pushes Wood back to the fence.
Pushing deep, going for the inside trip.
And got it.
Problem is he can land in the guard, which makes it easier to finish the guillotine. Ray Wood still going for it. And he's out.
He's out. This is where Ray Wood got finished by Piccolotti. Same spot in the cage.
One hook in, needs to pull him off the fence to get that other hook in to really get the choke. Good job escaping that hook. Nice move by Ray Wood.
About a couple of minutes have gone by since Ray Wood landed that knee.
Ray Wood has landed some good punches and a beautiful knee. Nice kick, another two of them.
Tried to jump knee again. This time AJ McKee caught him and planted him. Now you see the unorthodox nature of Ray Wood, putting AJ McKee in a position he hasn't really been in before.
Nice
good body kick.
Yeah. AJ didn't like that. Oh, good spinning back fist. Now AJ's got some great front chokes himself. Very good from this position. Grappled with him, and that's what really impressed me, is good front chokes. Ray Wood has to be cautious here. Ray Wood down and manhandled him, really owned him. Ray Wood has done a good job being offensive with his guard, avoiding big damage. He's done pretty well off of his back. It hasn't been a blowout.
First left elbow got through. Right elbow here towards the bridge of the nose.
Good ground and bounce so far by AJ.
AJ McKee starting to pick up some steam here.
Can't really flatten him out, but keeps the pressure on him, going crossface.
Always looking for what's next is AJ McKee. And have we meandered towards 10-8 territory is the question now around round two.
Could be, and judges have given a lot tonight.
Yes, they have.
Not to me, because
no fight-ending moment.
No fight-ending moment. One-sided, but no fight-ending moment.
As we arrive at the round-ending moment. Now, new territory for AJ McKee. The first time he has been in the third round. Now, Ray Wood has been here before. In fact, he's fought championship rounds 4 and 5 on the regional circuit.
Right now, it makes no difference. He can't think, all right, well, I want to draw. I mean, he wants to dominate. Nice takedown again. That's been there every time he's needed it. That's pure Antonio McKee, who's that.
The fundamentals are unbelievable in this kid. You can't ask for much more from Ray Wood than what he has given you here against AJ McKee.
AJ putting weight on that right leg.
For young fighters, AJ McKee's defense is so good.
That's excellent. Hasn't found an answer in round 2 and 3. He's been stuck on the bottom. Hasn't had any space. Hasn't been able to scramble back to his feet where he was so effective in round 1.
AJ McKee just over 15 minutes in the cage in his first 5 wins. And it looks like Ray Wood's going to take him all 15 here tonight. This is a tough kid to beat.
30 seconds, come on.
Oh, nice suplex. I think you may have seen the Michael Chandler fight.
For the winner by unanimous decision and still undefeated, AJ the Mercenary McKee.
The fight clock brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Oh, it's Miller time, and it almost was. Welcome to the big show, Brandon Phillips.
That's what I mean about that range, that awkward style. Likes the side kicks.
The super gyms in MMA. There are pros and cons to that.
Body Shop is run by HMP's dad, Antonio. I wouldn't call it a super gym, but it's a gym where a lot of great pros go to. It's not that, doesn't have that size, But man, some great guys go there, and it can really take you off the game. He hasn't met someone really who can do it yet, but that's the danger of his style. He's always extending himself.
Keep this in mind, you don't see the damage always. Good shot, right-hand shot from Phillips, countering, and he's got an answer. But he's laid some good leg kicks in on that front leg of AJ McKee. We'll see as this fight goes on if that becomes a factor. Change. Fans reacting. That was more of initiated. Yeah, that was a level change by AJ McKee, not a shot that landed. Every time fans react, you wonder how the judges exactly. Into round 3. This has been a good one. It's been very close, but AJ McKee has probably won both of these rounds.
By a thin margin. By a thin margin. In fact, round number 2, that last 30 seconds, man, Phillips started putting it together, started pushing AJ back, but once again, the last 20 seconds of the round, he needs to do that early.
I would be surprised if all 3 judges have it 2-0 for AJ.
I would be amazed. Especially, remember, Phillips is a hometown guy.
Yes.
You know, his dad said when he went to the corner, AJ McKee's dad, Antonio, said, hey, 1-1. I think it's 1-1. He thinks the judges saw it Brandon Phillips' way, and he could have. I mean, definitely. Can't feel comfortable about it. Because he feels safe. He knows Phillips is giving him space. Nice takedown. Nice timing on that. Grapple with AJ more than once. Has good pressure, excellent front shows. And he just got swept off. Big move by Phillips.
Always dangerous spot.
And that's a bad tendency. That wasn't a big shot. AJ relaxes and just moves back. It looks more damaging than it really was. Exactly.
While your third judge, Greg DeBilvis, sees the fight 30-27. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, AJ, the Mercenary McKee.
Fans don't like it, but they got it right.
Yeah, I think they did as well, but he's a natural 145. Mazzotta, a blown-up 135. Not his natural weight class. AJ McKee, big, young, strong. Definitely has the physical advantages in this fight.
I asked him point blank the other day, were you starting to get a little bored? And he said, yeah, I was. And you know, obviously James Gallagher has gotten under his skin. He's looking forward to having that fight. Eventually when it happens, James Gallagher will fight at Madison Square Garden in June. But he needs to focus on the task at hand. That's what makes it such a great opportunity for Dominic Mazzotta.
MMA, there is no horizon. There's only the fight in front of you.
Unless that fight is over. AJ McKee was looking for a spectacular win to get himself back on track, and did he ever get it?
Here, head kick, he's switching stances a lot. That is basics. Mazzotta has his right hand up, pulls it back, but the foot gets all the way around the hand. We talked about the range of AJ McKee. Long legs, long arms. That long leg got around the guard of Mazzotta, and he is done.
Especially all my fans in Ireland. Shout out, and my biggest fan, James Gallagher. How you doing, baby girl? So let's get it.
You know what I was going to ask about next? Your favorite Irishman, you know he's watching. How much are you looking forward to that fight?
Let's see if he gets past Leota's brother, but hey, I'm willing to take the step down. We're talking about who's the best up-and-comers. I'm the best up-and-comer. I don't even see myself as an up-and-comer. He's an up-and-comer. I'm going to make sure he stays an up-and-comer when he signs that contract. So let's get it, boy!
Dominic Mazzotta.
That's something Tugman can't do, is reach for those takedowns. Has to commit his hips to it. Can't reach because the counterpunch of AJ is very, very sharp.
AJ Jimmy said he wants the right head kick tonight. He swings it. Tugman pushes forward.
Says he was poked in the eye, but referee not stopping it. Did not see it. Now AJ on top.
Good pace by young AJ McKee. Not surprising. 8-0, trying to go to 9-0 to start.
Nice knee to the body from that position.
And another one to Ty Ben Askren. He finished his first 5 Bellator fights, 4 in the first round.
the other 32 seconds into the second.
Now, one caveat I will add, because I was around for the tournament days, it was hard to get on a streak. 1-3 in a row, you got a title shot. So, you know,
Earlier. And it can't get much earlier when you're 22 years old.
Yeah.
Caught him over the top. Doing damage, backing up. Now he pushes forward.
First judge Eric Colon scores the fight 30-27, while judges David Torelli and Chris Lee both see the fight the same, 30-26. All for the winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated, the mercenary AJ McKee.
9-0. That ties you for the longest win streak in Bellator history. Undefeated 9-0.
We're just getting started, baby.
That's what I'm asking. What's next for you? Who do you want to be that 10th?
Man, for me next, I'm trying to go to Ireland and beat up Princess Gallagher. He's running. We can make it a family affair, ass whooping. My coach Jay Manley will fight Delano, whatever the hell his name is. He don't want to fight my coach. Kiefer, he can fight Joey, Slice, going there in November. If my hand gets right, I'm coming to show Ireland who's the real Irishman. McKee is taking over, baby.
AJ McKee already showing that speed. Very, very quick, switches stances a lot. Brian Moore trying to corner and put him against the fence. Nice flying knee.
Oh, my goodness, he caught him.
Quick hook right over the top. Yep.
Moore's back up.
I'm going guillotine.
Little slip by McKee.
But McKee using a lot of energy early. Likes to play, likes to drop his hands. Shows a lot of confidence. A big puncher can make him pay for that. Another nice left. AJ McKee relying on his speed and timing early in this fight. A lot of veterans.
Georgi Karakhanyan and James Gallagher, who was initially supposed to be in the main event tonight. He is 4-0 in Bellator. He just had knee surgery.
That outside trip. And once again, this commitment to the guillotine. He's got it very, very tight.
Looking to finish it right here.
Man, so much pressure right now with the hips. Wow. He's out. Now that was close.
Fought through the standing guillotine attempt.
Now he has very good front chokes. It's a big part of AJ's arsenal.
Red gloves, McKee. Blue gloves, Brian Moore. AJ McKee trying to open his Bellator career 10-0. He caught him.
Oh, great shot. Caught him off balance. Good job moving around the legs.
McKee, fast-paced with this ground and pound.
Just what he wanted. A shot,
one hook in.
A shot in the arm and a fast start to kind of change the momentum and tempo of the fight. One hook in, going rear naked.
Can he get it? Looking to lock it down. Leon Roberts making sure
he's out. He's out.
And it's official. It is all over. AJ McKee chokes out Brian Moore.
Man, what a comeback. A tough fight, a long fight, a grueling fight that maybe wasn't going his way. This is how he dealt with it. A beautiful rear naked choke. No hooks in, but the pressure. You see the referee all over it, looking for signs that Moore was out. As soon as he saw it, that is it. Beautiful comeback by AJ McKee.
How you would deal with a tough fight, long fight, grueling fight. You were cut in round two. I'm sorry, in round one. What were you thinking coming out for round three? You came out so aggressively.
Round three, man, I know I'm here in Dublin, and I ain't letting that shit go scorecard, bro. You know how that shit goes. So, hey, I dug deep, had the motivation. Thank you guys for motivating me, booing me. That shit feels a hater, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, thank you, Dublin. Thank you for everyone coming out. Thank you for all my sponsors.
And get him against the cage and start to beat him up. He's positioning himself in the proper place to stop that.
Southpaw McKee tagging Lawrence with that combination. Lawrence with the single, looking to run the pipe. McKee back up on his feet along the fence.
Little swing of position, and you see when someone gets close to the cage, that fighter starts to, I'm gonna come in.
And one of our Bellator MMA champions, Darrion Caldwell, he's happy that the mullet is back on this Friday the 13th. As McKee dropping Lawrence momentarily, McKee looking for that guillotine choke.
That was a vicious body kick. It landed solid.
Good exchange.
And as you're watching this more, the slight difference you're seeing is, there you go, that axe kick right there. The slight difference you're seeing is the shots landed by AJ right now are a little more powerful.
What a sharp jab by McKee, and Lawrence firing back after eating it and saying, yeah, it tasted okay. How does this taste?
First round, I got to give it to McKee, 10-9. But both guys are doing really good things inside of this cage.
Little capoeiras.
Little capoeira. Trying to attack him, and then his counters. You look, see that simple slap of that hand, and then the counter.
Oh, beautiful.
And then the big left hand coming down the pipe, because you're watching his footwork. He's stepping outside of Justin Lawrence's left foot.
What a soft kick there by McKee for Lawrence. How does he navigate these turbulent waters and close the distance? Oh, what a hook kick there by McKee, and Lawrence took it and keeps staying in the pocket. AJ McKee in the red gloves, Justin Lawrence in the blue gloves. Your unofficial score after 10 minutes.
No doubt about it, 10-9, 10-9 for McKee. He's won both the first and second. Justin's got to turn it on here in the third.
McKee looking for the takedown, the attempted sprawl against the fence by Lawrence, doing a good job of staving off this takedown attempt. Well, he saw Baby Slice record the 7th quickest submission in Bellator history to kick off Bellator 197. 34-second rear naked choke.
Bloodied his nose a little bit. Justin needs to start to move his hips. Exactly. Get yourself out of that position.
Oh, and on the exit, the right head kick by McKee lands.
That exit is what we're talking about. That's the progression of a good fighter. He doesn't just sit there and let things happen. I'm going to get my last bit in.
For the winner by unanimous decision, still undefeated, AJ, the Mercenary McKee.
AJ McKee extends his record Bellator MMA winning streak to 11. He's 11-0, and he's standing by with Big John McCarthy.
Every time I stand next to you, I feel older and older. That was the most impressive fight you have had in your career. How are you feeling right now?
I'm fantastic, man. I feel great. I'm ready for war. Thanks to Justin Lawrence, man. Everybody talk about who have I fought. I haven't fought anybody. Well, hey, now you see what it is when I fight somebody that's on my level, baby. Justin Lawrence is a hell of a fighter, and I thank him for taking a fight, not pulling out like the rest of these in the division. Well, speaking of pussies, I mean, the man called me a pussy. So, hey, James Gallagher, you keep pulling out a fight, saying you're hurt, this, that, this, that. I want to get this father-son fight. So let me and my father fight the same night, break some world history records, and I'll whoop your ass the same night. Because the fans want to see it, homie. You're not Conor McGregor. You ain't nothing like him, and I'm going to expose you to the world. So let's do this shit, homie.
Go. Here we go. Tonight's Fight Clock brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. Head kick early. AJ McKee, the southpaw, red gloves. Macapá in the blue gloves.
And those kicks are something that John Macapá is concerned with. He knows that AJ has very good kicks, and he says he is fully prepared to deal with those. That is going to be a question in this fight, because AJ, being as long as he is, when he gets those kicks going, he starts to pot shot you with his hands.
He's got that whip on those kicks as well. And his teammate Aaron Pico watching very closely. Aaron Pico's got the Brazilian Leandro Higo in 8 days.
Nice response by John Macapá with that beautiful kick to the body. Doesn't look like much, but trust me, AJ felt that kick.
Macapá's Bellator debut was his first fight in the U.S. Spin and a miss. Right up his AJ.
And that's where we're talking about.
It's all over! Knockout! AJ McKee! Just like that!
AJ takes a big step inside. Look at this left hand. Comes through. Bip right on the chin. That hand, you can see his whole body goes limp. AJ can come down with a shot, but he doesn't. That left hand put him out.
I wasn't sure if I caught him with the spinning heel kick or not, but once I looked up and I kind of seen he was still moving forward, he was stumbling, I was like, oh, just get up and get him. So it's like a shark smelling blood when he's hungry. You got to get after it.
After 12 wins in a row, who is it you want next here, AJ?
Since day one, man, it's A1. Where is my belt? You see me, I like to look flossy. I need a nice belt around my waist.
Sounds good to me. Everyone, your winner, AJ McKee. Takedown, but his hand position is not in a place where he's going to get it right now.
You can see the mark on that.
There you go. Hands closed and he's down.
AJ was patient, wasn't he, John?
He was, and he was putting a lot of pressure, but not exuding a lot of energy in doing it, and that's what's showing his maturity as a fighter.
Former Gracie National Grappling Champion, AJ McKee.
This is where Danny Crawford was saying, look, I want him on the ground. I believe I'm much better than him on the ground. And in knowing AJ McKee and seeing how good he is, AJ is very quick on the ground. He's got great movement, and in transitions, he will catch you if you are not careful.
Antonio, his father, of course, former professional fighter, coach, father, best friend.
You're looking right now, you're looking at an Anaconda setup. Danny Crawford's got some problems here, especially if AJ can bring that leg and catch Danny's body.
It is all over, just like that. Another finish for AJ McKee. He is 13-0.
And he just waits in time. He's not rushing, and when you see the roll, he presses against the fence, brings the roll. That is tight right now. It is over on top. You see him bringing his leg over that arm. That's enough pressure that it is closing off that blood. He has to tap out or he's going to go to sleep. Do you think it is time for you to get that shot at that championship belt?
Man, I've been calling for that belt since I stepped foot in this cage the day I signed pro. So, hey, let's get it. As long as I got Bellator Nation and the fans behind me, we can conquer the world, baby. Let's keep doing it.
There is a feeling of process going on.
And you know, this is good for Pat, but it is that length of AJ that is going to give Pat Curran problems.
On cue, utilizing that length to deliver the body kick. Misses with that crescent kick. McKee has done his homework. That head kick was blocked. He says that Curran, very methodical, patient inside the cage. We're seeing it.
Notice the distance that he's controlling. Every time Pat starts to make that little shuttle step to come inside, you're seeing AJ backing off, circling out, and creating a space.
Very much a feeling of process, but now explosive offense from McKee, looking for the finish. But Curran cool, calm, and collected under fire. A lot of energy, intent, but again, not a lot of damage to Curran. As Curran looking for the takedown and secures it here in round two with a minute and a half left in the round, and McKee immediately goes to the strikes from the bottom.
I want to say that's the first time that AJ McKee has been taken down in the Bellator cage. That was a nice takedown by Pat Curran. Driving double leg, got into him, but he needs to be smart about what he's doing right here.
Curran began wrestling at 15 as a sophomore. He placed in the state championships as a senior. So has a wrestling background, but again, moral victory here, taking McKee to the ground and looking to use the last minute of the round to impose his will and skill on McKee and the judges.
Well, moral victory as far as getting the fight to the ground, but since that fight has hit the ground, he has done nothing but taken shots from AJ. That's the first shot that Pat has landed while on the ground.
With 13 wins, 5 knockouts, 4 submissions, he has cut Pat Curran from the bottom. So maybe the Friday the 13th analogy may be apropos after all before this is all said and done. As we are in the final seconds of the second round, McKee versus Curran in the featherweight division. You threw a referee, what? You of all people, John.
I heard him say it. So.
Here's McKee unloading on Curran. What do you think of the kicking attack of McKee and the way, is he telegraphing it? Is he showing a tell and allowing Curran to back off? Both McKee and I'm sure Curran would love to get a crack at Patricio Pitbull. Of course, Pitbull has a hat pass with Pat Curran.
I think every time they fight, it's going to be a 5-round fight.
For the winner by unanimous decision, still undefeated AJ Mercenary McKee.
Bye. The bell in round one. AJ McKee, southpaw in the red glove. Right away, drops Karakhanyan. AJ McKee, faster than a TikTok video. AJ McKee just starched
gloves. Those little right hands. Watch the left. Boom! That hurts him, and then he starches him with that left hand. It is over fast. AJ McKee just put a mark saying, who wants to take me on? You are in trouble.
15-0. AJ McKee is on his way to the quarterfinals.
I told him I was coming out here for Bellator's fastest knockout, you feel me? My teammate Aviv just got the fastest submission, and I said I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna come do it and keep doing it. I want my belt. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, baby! Let's go!
That selection show coming up. If you were able to pick anyone, who is it you want, brother?
Like I said, I want my belt, but I don't think he's going for that. So duck and dodge. It's got to come sooner or later.
Both ready to fight, and immediately McKee said he would go for a Masvidal-esque jumping knee like Masvidal did against Ben Askren, and this time, well, Campos avoided it, and McKee looking to get flashy quick, and it might just cost him here against the double-tough Campos.
He did not lie about going for it. And right here, this is where on the ground, AJ is big with elbows. He likes to throw elbows.
Oh, and
beautiful sweep out position. And a nice left hand on the exit.
It took him only 8 seconds to dispatch Georgi Karakhanyan. He was looking for the Bellator record, and he is looking to put out Campos quick here tonight.
Giving the back, not a smart move.
4 of McKee's 15 wins have come via submission. Looking for the first round rear naked choke here against Derek Campos. Campos in trouble.
It is on the jawline, but that jaw can be dislocated if you understand what you're doing with that squeeze.
Well defended by Campos. We are in the second of a scheduled 5 rounds as Campos goes low with the inside leg kick.
AJ dominated the action in that first.
Oh, and Campos is down. AJ McKee diving in, ground and pound on the durable Campos, but Campos tasting left hands. And AJ McKee swarming Derek Campos, and Campos has survived the attack thus far, neutralizing McKee for the moment.
Nice pass.
Oh, looking for the darts here. And that front face, that front headlock really is McKee's bread and butter.
And
whether it's for a Darce
guillotine right here, those hips going down, that is going to make it tight. He just lost it.
Oh, McKee allows Campos to get back up, and now McKee slugging it out with Campos. McKee shoots in, Campos defending.
Campos just being durable right now. That is not a good sign that you see that AJ slides to his back. He is tired right now. His arms are heavy. He went after that Darce, tried to squeeze again. He's looking for rest. Into getting into a brawl. He has the ability to put AJ out.
That won't be the case as McKee secures another takedown like his father, comes from a wrestling base. Actually, Pat Curran, one of the only men to really ground McKee off a well-timed takedown, but wasn't able to do much from his position on top, and now McKee working from the bottom.
Working from the bottom.
Oh, the tap out! McKee forces Derek Campos to capitulate, and McKee has reached Sweet 16, 16-0, and the longest win streak in Bellator history continues as McKee, one more fight closer to $1 million and the Bellator Featherweight Championship.
Slides over the top, but watch his legs and what happens with this arm bar. We have an arm lock inside here. That is a straight, he puts it behind his arm. That is a tight arm lock. Beautiful submission victory.
I told you guys, this is just the beginning. You know what I mean? I'm barely showing off jiu-jitsu skills. So welcome to AJ Jiu-Jitsu 101. It's just the beginning of what's really yet to come. I tried to open up, throw a little bit of elbows for my feet, flying knees and whatnot, but took a little bit of damage, and I'm still here, ready to go. Ready for the next round and ready for my belt.
Darrion Caldwell, AJ McKee. The winner advances to the finals of the Featherweight World Grand Prix.
You ready to fight? You ready to fight? Let's go.
Here we go! Tonight's fight clock presented by Geico. Southpaw versus Southpaw. Caldwell in the red gloves, McKee in the blue gloves.
Calculated. Play it, climb.
Very nice drop and entry by Caldwell. Let's see what he can do with the position.
Bicep control. Bicep control.
AJ made it very clear this week, even if he's on the bottom, he's going to make him work, make him take elbows, make him take strikes, make him feel like there's something always going on in the fight.
There we go. Now we're going to look for elbows off this position.
Let's get some elbows going.
There you see it right there, Josh. The little heel kicks.
Stop him.
As the fight goes on, those pay dividends. Nice elbow though.
That was a nice heavy elbow by Darrion
Walk him
Caldwell.
to the cage. Trying to break your base. You got to climb. Climb, young man, climb.
John, there's a lot of energy being used though right now by Darrion to hold him in place. There's a lot of intensity. That type of stuff will tend to wear your gas tank out as the round goes on.
It is all over! Just like that! Darrion Caldwell submitted by AJ McKee!
Wow! As soon as we hit the ground, I immediately thought, all right, I know he's going to try to work elbows. He was real adamant on having his arms on the inside, so that told me he's looking to posture up and hit elbows. So I'm like, all right, control the arms a little bit, you know what I mean? And look for your elbows, hit him a little bit, show him some power, get him to open up, and then sink something in. So after that, he popped his head off to the side, and I locked up the body triangle. From there, underhook deep, and saw she wrote.
Your next fight, you know, is not only for $1 million, not only for the Featherweight Grand Prix title, it's also for the Featherweight Championship of the world. What does that mean to you?
Man, that's the beginning of the beginning, you know. Childhood dream, I wrote myself at 12 years old, $1 million check, so I'm looking forward to cashing that in.
Strength, Patricio is a bull. Yes. To be that bull, you got to come into the Matador.
And of course, Pitbull known for his crisp counterattacks, but who is going to lead this dance?
Notice who is moving who back. Now he's hit it. He is seriously hurt. He's not stopped. He made a mistake there.
Patricio Pitbull. He said he'd do it with a kick, and McKee looking to finish the champion in round one.
He made a mistake in not going after him. He's out. He's out.
Mamma mia! AJ McKee has made history!
Mr. AJ McKee. AJ, you just stopped a guy that has been the champion since you have been fighting in this cage. What does it feel like?
Man, all my dreams coming true. It's amazing. We're not done. This is just the beginning, so we getting started. I'm looking forward to holding this baby for the rest of my life. It ain't going nowhere.
Because you wrote yourself a check when you were a young man for $1 million. Well, Bellator just wrote you a check for $1 million that you can now go cash. Talk to me about the entire tournament, what it meant to you and how it was going through this process.
Man, when I first started in the tournament, I wanted like the third pick, fourth pick, just so I could see where the bracket laid out. But God put something in my heart. He reminded me, he said, you are number one. So when I drew that number one, it showed me. It said, let them see who wants to fight you. And none of them wanted to step up. Mentality is key. You know, you got to put in the work. And my dad always tell me hard work beats talent. So if you got all the skill set in the world and you don't work hard, it's meaningless. Yeah, because I thought he was done, you know. I looked at him and then I was just like, man, well, let's get on him again, you know. So like they say, protect yourself at all times and you got to stay on him until the ref stops it. So I had to get back on him like white on rice.
When you grabbed that neck and you felt it, did you know that he was going out?
Yeah, I felt him go limp a little bit, so that's what kind of gave me it, you know what I mean? I knew he was already rocked, so when I felt him buckle a little bit, I was like, all right, that's it.
I want to tell you that was a fantastic performance against an unbelievable champion. Congratulations on being the new featherweight champion of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bellator Featherweight Champion, AJ the Mercenary McKee.